We found out today that Superman is headed back to the silver screen, but we're going to get a brand new version of the Man of Steel. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have a little update on Superman. Well, earlier today, many of us fans of the Man of Steel were quite stunned when we found out J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates are going to reboot Superman. Now, as the day went on, we got more details on what direction they may be headed with the new franchise and the fact that they may be casting a black actor to play Superman. Now, before we break all this down, I wanted to remind everybody to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, don't forget about the big giveaway. We're going to give away this PlayStation 5 at 25,000 subscribers. All you have to do to get in on this giveaway is be a subscriber and leave a comment. Well, the news from Warner Brothers earlier today that we're going to get a new Superman movie has been pretty well received by fans. But it was even noted in our story that there was no talk of Henry Cavill in that press release. Now, despite all the rumors that Henry Cavill might actually return to the role, several trades have now reported that the reboot will not feature Henry Cavill and will indeed feature a new actor in the cape. Additionally, it is reported that the studio is looking for a black actor to play the Man of Steel. Now, according to the team over at the THR, the project is being set up as a, quote, black Superman story, which is an idea WB has been kicking around for quite a while. Now, if you remember, back in 2019, it was rumored that Michael B. Jordan could take up the role, and he had some talks with Warner Brothers, but as of this point, he's actually involved in that Static reboot and very well might be playing the character Icon. I wouldn't write him off as a potential actor, but I don't think it's going to go that way. Now, the real question here is, which Superman is he going to be? Although most people think of Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, as Superman, there's been quite a few versions of the characters in the comics, and actually 2 of them would fit the bill here pretty nicely. I guess technically there are 3 options we could go with, and the first 2 I think are the least likely. The first would be a simple race swap for Clark Kent. There's nothing exclusive about Clark's background required for him to be a Kansas farm boy, so really you could go any direction there, and race doesn't really play a role in his origin story. It was set in classic Americana, but that story was also written in the 1930s, so things are quite a bit different now, and Superman's face really could be anybody's. Now, there have been a couple of African American characters in the comics who have taken up the mantle of Superman. The first one was Calvin Ellis, whose actual Kryptonian name is Kal-El. Now, this was in an alternate Earth. He was still born to Jor-El and Lara on Krypton and was sent to Earth. A very similar story, except this version rises to become President of the United States. The character himself is actually based on Barack Obama, which is sort of funny because prior to being elected, he once joked on TV that he was sent to Earth from Krypton by his father Jor-El. But I don't think we're going with either one of these previous versions. I actually think if they're doing this Superman, they are going to do Val Zod. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Val Zod, he's actually the Superman of Earth 2. And his origin story ties pretty neatly into the Superman mythos. His story is very similar, but moments before Krypton's destruction, Val was actually sent along with Kara and Kal-El to Earth. With this version of the character, he was actually found by Terry Sloan, who offered him asylum and protected him from the outside world. In the comics, the character was actually stashed away underground and didn't make his appearance in Earth 2 until issue number 19 in 2014. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Earth 2 storyline, it has a lot of, well, almost like Flashpoint Elseworld elements to it, and this would really be a neat story. Don't get caught up in the politics of this potential casting. I actually think we might be getting an Earth 2 movie from DC. Now, I'm not going to give away too many details of this story, but it does offer up quite a few unique versions of DC characters that have really cool looks, especially Batman. Also, it doesn't mean the end of Henry Cavill. One of the seminal moments in these comics is Val Zod fighting a cloned version of Kal-El. This character was called Brutal and is almost like a Bizarro-like character. This storyline is very focused on Darkseid and Apocalypse, and given that audiences are about to be well educated by Zack Snyder on Darkseid and Apocalypse, it really would be the most solid idea for this version of Superman. Additionally, DC has already confirmed that these worlds will be less interconnected, and even Pattinson's Batman exists on a separate Earth. As a matter of fact, I think we actually have 3 Batman castings going on right now. So if you're a big Henry Cavill fan, I wouldn't be too worried. DC and Warner Brothers don't seem to be too afraid of having multiple castings for the same character, and I'm pretty sure if this Batman experiment works, you're going to see quite a bit of this variation of casting going on across DC films. Now obviously J.J. Abrams and the team over at Bad Robot have a lot of work in front of them, and we don't have any real details on this movie yet. Personally, I think what they're doing is the Val Zod story, but we don't have any evidence of that yet. J.J. Abrams did say it was an interesting Superman tale and something we hadn't seen before. And if you know this Earth 2 comic and how Val comes about growing his powers and becoming the new Superman, this story could really fit nicely on the big screen and be set in an Earth 2 superhero free-for-all. Now obviously, once we get more details about this new Superman, or any story details, like if it's part of Earth 2, we're going to let you know right away. But I gotta know what you guys think. What do you think of a new version of Superman? And who would you like to see take up the role of Val Zod? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.